Hey guys, John Rettinger from John4Lakers.com. I've been lucky enough to have the Blackberry Storm kicking around for a few days now, and the first thing I thought when I heard about the device was how is it going to stack up to the iPhone? So I want to do a head-to-head comparison with you guys of the Blackberry Storm versus the iPhone. I'm going to show you scrolling, I'm going to show you internet browsing, I'm going to show you everything. So let's go ahead and get started. Move the camera down here. So here you've got an iPhone 3G running on AT&T's 3G network with full bars. And here we've got the Blackberry Storm on Verizon's EVDO network with full bars, so it should be a very fair comparison. So the first interesting thing about the Storm, and you really can't talk about the device without mentioning its touchscreen. So it essentially has two touch mechanisms. You can just touch the device once lightly, and you can see that it highlights it. Kinda cool. And you can also push in, actually pushes the whole screen in, and that feels almost identical to the trackpad on the new MacBooks and the new MacBook Pros. Something to keep in mind. If you can't get your hands on a Storm, go into an Apple store, push down the keyboard. That's exactly what the Storm screen feels like. So we'll go back. We'll go back and go home here. The iPhone, on the other hand, when you touch it, it's just a simple touch, no push-in mechanisms or anything, and it's very clean scrolling. So the best way to show scrolling, I think, is probably just to go to Contacts. Let's go ahead and go to Contacts here. As you can see, you can scroll very quickly. It flick scrolls, so as you let go, it still keeps going and then slows down. Very fluid and very smooth. Let's go ahead and look at scrolling on Contacts again on the Blackberry Storm. Very smooth scrolling as well, but it only scrolls as far as your finger goes. So as soon as you take your finger off the screen, the scrolling stops. Some people may enjoy that, some may not. I prefer the iPhone's way of flick scrolling, so you just get to flick your screen across it. This is definitely a little bit different, and it's taking some getting used to. But it's not bad, and while your finger is on it and you are doing the scrolling, it is very, very, very fluid. So that is nice. Really is going to depend on your personal preference. So another thing people have been looking forward to about the device is the browser. The browser is the big deal. So let's go ahead and show you that right away and dive right into it. BlackBerry has not been known for their outstanding browsers, although they did get better with the BlackBerry Bold for AT&T. The BlackBerry Storm is supposed to take it one step further. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that right now. I'm going to go ahead and load up John4Lakers.com on both devices. Alright, so John4Lakers.com is queued up and ready to go, and again, I got 3G coverage on both phones. Now it's down to 2 bars on AT&T and full bars on EVDO, but AT&T advertises their network as the fastest 3G one available, so we'll be the judge of that. And I'll hit these here right at the same time, make sure it's a fair test. And we're off. Looks like the Storm is loading it a little bit quicker, although the iPhone may catch up. Well, there's already text on the Storm. Oh, actually, the Storm is already done. It actually loaded up much quicker than the iPhone did. The iPhone is still loading. We'll let it finish up here. So scrolling while you're on the internet is very similar to scrolling, for instance, when you're in contacts. It's a very fluid scroll, but it's only scrolls as far as your finger. For instance, the iPhone will do the flick scrolling, and it'll scroll as far as you flick it. For the iPhone, for zooming, you can pinch in and pinch out, and you can also double tap. While there is not a pinch in and pinch out zoom functionality, the Storm does have the double tap for zoom. You can zoom right in, and you also have zoom plus and zoom minus here. So you can zoom in further using those, or zoom out using the soft keys that show up on the screen. Overall, internet browsing on the Storm is a very enjoyable experience and really comes close to matching the iPhone's browsing, but doesn't quite come up to it. The iPhone still has a superior browser as far as look and feel and navigation, but the Storm's is, again, excellent, excellent, excellent. So if you're on Verizon and you don't want to switch and browsing is important to you, really the Blackberry Storm is a great way to go. So the next thing people want to see, I think aside from the browser, the keyboards. How do you type on this thing? It's got that weird button screen. Let's go ahead and show how that works, and I'm going to compare it to the iPhone. I'll tell you guys which one I prefer more. So the keyboard on the iPhone you guys are all familiar with. Let me go ahead and show you both. Alright, so I've got a new text message here up on each screen, and you're probably familiar with the iPhone's keyboard. It only stays in portrait mode here, or sorry, it only stays in landscape mode. It does not go to portrait for regular typing. So it's not that bad to type on. I've been using an iPhone for about 1.5 years now, and I've gotten very quick at it, although there was a learning curve. So I'm going to go ahead and type something here and see how it goes. And I'm just going to use, actually I'll use my thumbs like normal. I'll type, "Hi, my name is John for Lakers." Okay? See how fast I am. John for Lakers. So I was relatively close. Hi, my NME is John for Lakers. Missing an A in there, but still pretty close and pretty accurate. Now the Blackberry Storm actually has two keyboards. It's got this Blackberry Pearl SureType-esque keyboard when the phone is in portrait, and it goes to a full landscape keyboard when it's in landscape. So I'm going to go ahead and try both for you. So again, type, "Hi, my name is John for Lakers," and we'll see how it goes. And again, it's not such a fair comparison because I've been using the iPhone for a while now, and I've only had this for a few days. Alright, "Hi, my name is John for Lakers." It actually was pretty quick and pretty accurate with the SureType keyboard. Let's go ahead and try that in the landscape mode. So I'll turn it, rotate it sideways. You see it changes right there. As you put your finger over a key, it actually glows blue, which is a kind of a cool effect. So go ahead and try typing it on this one, and I'll give you guys my preference in a minute after I show you. "Hi, my name is John for Lakers." Alright, so I got, "Hi, my name is Jin for Lakerd." So not quite so accurate. I actually prefer typing on the Blackberry Storm when it's in SureType. The keys are a lot easier to type on. When you're on the iPhone and you're typing and you have your finger over a key, it actually highlights above it what you're typing. So you can see what key you're typing even when your thumb is over it. The Storm, it glows blue, but you can't necessarily see where that glow is coming from. So it's much easier to type, for me, in the SureType keyboard when you have a little more screen real estate to work with. Although, as you saw, typing in the SureType is actually pretty quick and relatively easy. I had a Blackberry Pearl beforehand, so getting used to this is a very nice adjustment. Let me go ahead and move this up and talk about the devices a little bit more. So, what should you get, an iPhone or a Blackberry Storm? And we'll go ahead and assume maybe price isn't an issue because they both come in at just about the same price at $199 for the 8GB iPhone and the Blackberry Storm. If you're on Verizon and you don't want to switch, the Blackberry Storm is a fantastic way to go. Absolutely fantastic way to go. If you're on AT&T and you don't want to switch, obviously the iPhone's an easy way to go. Those are really cut and dry situations. But what if your contract is up and you're on Sprint, your contract's up and you're on AT&T or Verizon, and you give a choice with what phone you want to go with? Well, here's my recommendation. Email on the BlackBerry is fantastic. Email on the iPhone, not so fantastic. I have mentioned it in plenty of videos and I'm not happy with the email service. So if email and messaging is paramount to you and browsing experience is secondary, go with the BlackBerry. You won't be disappointed. If browsing is most important to you and email is sort of a secondary thing, then go for the iPhone. The browsing experience really can't be beat. Storage isn't really an issue either way. The Storm comes with an 8GB SD card, but you can, micro SD card rather, but you can up that to 16 gigs. So you can really get the same amount of storage both ways. They both have media players and photo viewers you can flick through. I'm not going to show you guys all that right now, but just know that all those features are there. The Blackberry Storm, actually I'll show you in a minute, does feature an app store, but it's not quite as robust as Apple's. Let me go ahead and show you guys that now, actually. So we'll go ahead and move that down. So it will get bigger, I assume, as the device becomes more popular. It was just released today to the public. So we'll hit the BlackBerry menu and pull up the full menu here. You can scroll through up and down. And you've got an Applications window right there. And that launches RIM's new version of their App Store. You can see there's just a few things in here right now. Visual voicemail, Verizon Navigator, Yahoo Messenger, Google Talk, Windows Live, and right now it's all free. And just for comparison purposes, I'll launch the App Store here, although I'm sure most of you guys have seen it. A little bit slow. So it's going to pull up some top 25 applications. But you have an option to purchase here. With the iPhone, you're stuck within Apple's walled garden, so to speak. With RIM, you're still in a little bit of walled garden, but you've got more flexibility for third-party apps. You'll be able to put BlackBerry applications that aren't in the App Store on here, which is nice. You get a little more device customability. So guys, can I recommend one device over the other? To be honest, I really can't. They're both excellent in their own right, and they both bring something different to the table. So, probably just confused you a little bit more. I recommend going to the Verizon store and playing with a Blackberry Storm. But be patient with it. There is a definite steep learning curve to getting used to the device and getting used to the clicky screen. A little bit odd. And be sure to go to AT&T and get a chance to look at the iPhone or your Apple store. So guys, John Rettinger from john4lakers.com with a comparison for you of the iPhone versus the Blackberry Storm. Be sure to check out the website, www.john4lakers.com. It's a community forum where you can apply to be a writer, and you can blog about anything technology related, and even promote your own channel or website. So if you're interested, there's an apply button on the bottom right side. And if you want some exclusive content and heads up on new videos, be sure to follow me on Twitter at www.twitter.com/John4Lakers. I'll put links to both up in the sidebar. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next video. Bye. Just see how that looks there. Dun, 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 dun.